Fall is the time when families struggle to get organized. With the kids back in school and the calendar filling up, it's crucial to stay on top of everything. I caught up with Whitney Elliott from Be Organized for the best way to get started when you're trying to get organized.
Now it's time for Open House, sponsored by Pyramid Heating and Cooling.
You know, one of the things that seems to be the hardest for most people is organization. So I had to bring an expert on. Whitney Elliott from Be Organized, welcome to Around the House Northwest.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Well, I wanted to talk about some basic organizing because this is one of those projects that I think that freezes up most people out there. Hey, I know I need to get organized, but where do I even start?
Yeah, we get that question a lot. And I find myself telling most people to allow themselves to start small. And even though it might be their entire house, they want to get organized, starting in the linen closet or the pantry. The spaces that we might go every single day can really make the biggest difference and get us kind of moving towards that. And also just teaching them the ways that they can do it on their own if we're not around.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, whether it's a linen closet, a pantry, or entire home, the longer you're there, it seems like clutter just seems to collect.
Well, we are consumers, and just with swiping on our phone and laying in bed, we have the ads talking to us, and just one click away, we can have it delivered the next day. So even though it's super easy to get to our house, we still think that they are irreplaceable and just so valuable. So it's just kind of talking with our clients about what they truly love and what they really can't live without. It kind of makes it a little bit easier, and we work together on what they're passionate about to help them purge and declutter.
Yeah, my answer was like moving every couple of years, and that kind of forced me to. And my rule was when I was, not so much now, but when I was moving every few years, it was one of those things that I would go, okay, time to move. And hey, I haven't unwrapped that box yet. I wonder what's in it. I better get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, I will say we help people move all the time, and basements tend to hide the boxes that never get opened for 20 years. But I am one, my family and I have moved a ton. I have personally moved 29 times.
Wow.
And so I'm with you. I after a few years, I'm like, we have to move. We have to declutter and go through everything. It's the only way we're going to touch everything. But it is. When you move, you do have to touch everything and go through everything. And when you stay in a house for 30 years, it's easy to find a space for things to hide.
Yeah, it's funny because my mom's been in her house now for probably 12 years, maybe closer to 15, and she's starting to collect it back up again. And I go, you're going to have to move again. That's how you're going to fix it. So we joke about it. But I like your idea of getting these small wins, right? Get that little thing, and then after that, maybe just start tackling bigger ones, or what do you recommend?
Yeah. So along with the small things, if we're going big, I still say the same thing that if we're doing a linen closet or a whole bedroom, if something has a tear in it or a stain, just allow yourself to get rid of it. You're probably not going to use it anyways. If there's any food expired, allow yourself to get rid of it. And then it really is, if it is a huge basement, starting in sections, but we do say we pull everything out and we touch everything and go through it with you.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, you know, and I always say when in doubt, bring in the professional to help you with it, because it can be so tough, so overwhelming, especially if you've got a lot of stuff. I mean, there's people out there that, you know, have a medical condition that's, you know, hoarding disorder, which is, of course, is well beyond your typical clutter. But, you know, people with collections, and I say collections as a plural, that gets interesting. I'm sure you have to deal with that a lot.
Yes. And there are many, many ways to store those things. We do photo organizing and memorabilia organizing too, that we're not saying you have to throw everything away, but let's create systems that work for you. So then when you do want to get that item out, or that toga costume out for the party that you might get invited to, you know exactly where it is and you're not wasting your time finding it. So we talk a lot about productivity and how much time we waste looking for our keys, our wallet, our phone before we walk out the door. And if we just all know where it's supposed to be and we put it in its home every day and there is a home for everything, then it makes keeping the systems and sustaining them as well.
That is great. So if somebody needs professional help, they want to bring you in to work with them, what's the best way for them to track you down?
We are at beorganized.com/Portland, and we're really easy to get a hold of at Instagram and Facebook at beorganizedportland.
Cool, Whitney. Thanks for coming on today, and let's tackle some projects here later on this year. I'd love to work on some organizing stuff with you, and might be some good stuff for people to learn from.
Definitely. I would love it.